Hello and welcome back to the best podcast in the world. I'm Nigel Farage and he's Mrs. Doubtfire.
Who is Mrs. Doubtfire? It's been a movie, I take it, yes?
Have you not seen Mrs. Doubtfire?
No, I don't think so, no.
Mrs. Doubtfire is Robin Williams, was it? Yeah. Played a babysitter who was a man who dressed up as a woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because he was going through a divorce with his wife and wanted to be close to the children or something like that.
Oh, it was his kids, was
yeah,
it?
his kids.
Oh,
He
that's
was,
okay.
he was dressed up and he was being their nanny. So, yeah,
Oh, right.
very good movie.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't be allowed nowadays
Yeah.
because it was seen as a bad thing that he was doing that.
Yeah. Do you know actually Aladdin now comes up with a Disney disclaimer that the... Sorry, I should be putting you in a bad mood after 30 seconds of a podcast.
Why?
That's the way the world's gone.
Why Aladdin has to come with a fucking disclaimer. It's a great reflection of where we are at the minute.
But we're sitting back. We're Paper Tuesdays.
We're shitting back. Well, come on, what are we back with?
We're hitting back. We're an independent voice for you. That's what we are.
No one
aren't we?
owns us.
No one owns us, not yet anyway. And I'd like to start by saying thank you, because I know we say it a lot, but we're now almost 100 episodes in, 2 years into doing this, and the feeling of it changes. It's like a wave; it goes up and down, and it's right now we're just I'm in a very happy place in relationship to the podcast. You know, we're all going in the right direction, and it couldn't happen really without the few people like you who hit play.
Yes, exactly. It's strange how things kind of come in waves, it dips, and sometimes, we don't have much to do. Like for the past few weeks, we haven't really had much to do, and now we have a lot of stuff coming up recently. So that's great. Like I was thinking about last night, about how exciting it is that we have these things, to kind of progress and bring the podcast further.
Yeah, and you can't, as I think in the early days and in general, like looking back on how I've changed as a person, I probably would have been more controlling in the earlier days of it. Whereas now I realise you just have to let it go. And like we have known that we're going to do a show in April since January.
Yes.
And we've decided to start selling tickets now, a month from the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go buy your tickets.
Please, if you wouldn't mind.
From the link in our Instagram bio. If you buy them early, you get a better seat.
You do. We can guarantee that.
Yeah, you'll be able to smell a flood.
Well, we so much to promote this time round. Like before, we wanted a go record. We wanted to serve the audience that gave us the platform in the first place, and that's why we had Jericho and Billy Byrne. Now we're just going all out with boxing and rugby.
Boxing and rugby, yeah. Two things we know nothing about.
Zero.
But we're going to find out, and so are you.
Yeah.
And there's going to be loads of crack there too.
There really is. Like Gary Spike O'Sullivan, Niall Basil Kennedy, it's going to be great just to see their friendship, because they're two high-level boxers. Obviously, Spike has gone very well at the professional scene. And then we've Shane Byrne. I was actually researching Shane Byrne last night, and there is actually a lot of a story about the hair.
Oh?
Like, the hair is actually, not too much of a spoiler, but he was on the Brendan O'Connor show a few years ago, and his hair was the reason why he didn't get as many Ireland caps as one could have with the talent that he had. In 95, he was with an Ireland squad.
Caps wouldn't fit over the hair. No, go on.
In 95, he was getting tries with an Ireland squad, and the management said, "Cut your hair," and he said no, and he was dropped.
Yes.
You're all for that?
All for Shane Byrne there.
Shane Byrne,
yeah, don't cut your fucking hair.
I thought you were like, yes, they should have dropped him. Mark Halpin, the image of conformity.
Yes, vaccines and haircuts. And why does he have to cut his fucking hair to play rugby?
It was kind of like, if you're not, it's kind of like a sign of disobedience or something.
Sure, them lads wear suits to matches and all, don't they, beforehand?
Yeah.
Clown goes now.
So like, I think that's an area that, like, obviously now it would be okay for someone to show their independence in that way, but was it as easy in the 1990s? That's where I'm going to go with it.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah,
it was a lot harder to stand out. But hair is a small thing, isn't it? Like, whatever about tattoos and stuff like that, like, you can always get a haircut.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
I think, are there still rules in the army that you can't get in if you have visible tattoos?
Oh, yeah.
I know there was a lad played football for a team down in Wexford. I think he tried to join the army and he couldn't get in because he had a neck tattoo.
Fuck.
I believe. I probably wouldn't get in with the tattoo on my hand. I'd say I wouldn't get in.
It's a funny one as well because it's probably the most innocuous of tattoos that you have. Like, it's just a little spectacles and a mustache.
Yeah.
It's gas, yeah.
Yeah, it's not exactly offensive.
No.
I've only ever had one person call me out for my tattoos. And they didn't really do it to me, but they done it so I was in earshot of them. I was on, I might have been, was it you I was with or someone else? But I was on a Dublin bus going somewhere. I think I was going down O'Connell Street, and there was an old couple kind of sitting behind where I was standing, and the wife was saying very loudly to her husband, look at what that young lad's after doing to his arms. He's never going to get a job. He kept going on about this and, like, you know, that's fucking disgusting. Why would he do that to himself? And, like, I could hear, but she was talking to her husband, and her husband was just kind of like, it's grand, whatever, you know. But, like, sure, that's what is to be gained from that for her, like.
Did that annoy you?
No,
Did it offend you?
No, not at all. No, because I know that's coming from a place of ignorance, and that's her own problem. It's not mine. I haven't done anything. She doesn't know who I am. She doesn't know that I don't have a job. I did have a job. I didn't do anything reprehensible. I just put some colours on my body, and that's it. Like, it's her own, I suppose, issue or conditioning or what she's been told to believe. That's fine. Let her have that. It's not my problem.
But, like, it's hard. In that sort of a scenario, I can see kind of where, like, kind of she's projecting beliefs onto you, like, in that there might be weaknesses or something.
It could be the fact that she's had to conform to these rules her whole life as well, for fear of condemnation. That was what she was afraid she was going to get if she ever went outside the line. So now she thinks because I've done it, I deserve that.
Retribution.
What she was afraid of.
Yeah.
Do you know? But my tattoos haven't negatively affected my life in any way, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think if more so they've kind of put me in a place where I have to do my own thing. Because I have done this now, I'm not going to get a job as well. Now maybe nowadays it's probably a lot more relaxed, but even when I started getting them I was 15, like, it probably wasn't as acceptable then. Fucking 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you know, that seems crazy to think that 11 years ago I got my first tattoo. But yeah, it's kind of just, I just done it because I knew I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And it hasn't negatively affected me at all. No one that I want to talk to would judge me because of my tattoos.
Yeah. Well, that's handy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like a nice little prerequisite to talk to me.
Yeah.
You have to be accepting of tattoos.
Yeah. You've got, just a random thought. You know the shadow thing, like shadow side or whatever. This is the idea that we all have a shadow, and that it's where we put the things about ourselves that we don't like and the things that annoy us, and we just kind of, that irritate us. And unless we accept the shadow, then it kind of is always there in the unconscious.
Yeah.
But it's only in the last few days, like, I've realised that for some reason, when Garol Cullen puts on YouTube videos of me from secondary school, if you go Michael Dwyer Gorey, some god-awful videos come up.
Right.
And when he plays them, my shadow is really, it's like a bomb is going off in my shadow. It really annoys me.
Really?
Because it's like seeing something that I thought was important at the time, but now I can see that, like, it was a bit silly of me to be doing.
Right.
It's kind of like an over professionalization or trying to be something that I amn't or something.
Right.
And looking back on it makes me feel uncomfortable.
Right. But do you not think you had to do those things to realise that wasn't what was correct, or that wasn't what was going to make you happy? Whereas if you hadn't have done those things, you could be kind of half-arsing it somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, that's true too. It's just like a big massive smack in the face, like. But, like, that's, I suppose, what life is. And then as well as that, like, I think I've always tried to be perfect or whatever. And I think you saw through that a little, like, in school, where it was like a goody two shoes type of thing. But, like, I don't know, it's just, I've been doing a lot of that sort of reflection. I think I have full belief in the full moon. I think Paddy's Day was a very difficult time for a lot of people out. I've heard only passing stories, but at least 3 or 4 of people that just did not find Paddy's Day really wondrous.
No, that's what I've heard. Anyone I've asked, you know, that went out, they just say, it wasn't worth it. Sure, one lad today told me he went home at 12. You know, it was it's just packed and it's messy. Like, sure, when we were leaving the parade at 4 o'clock, someone nearly spilled a pint on me outside Loch Orman.
Yeah.
And I thought, geez, I'm glad now I'm going home with this, you know. But
drink, we're in a funny time with drink, aren't we? Like, Shane, you were able to find a second wave then on the Thursday, weren't you?
Yeah, I went drinking on the Wednesday and I was like awfully hungover throughout Paddy's Day, like, and afterward it was grand doing during parade. Everything's like high spirits, high energy, so like brought me through it. But then after the parade, went back to Rosie's house and I was like, Jesus, I am very tired and hungover. And I was like, I can either now go sleep on Rosie's couch or I can go to the pub. And I decided to go to the pub, and I was glad I did because I was grand then. Like, I was better and had a bit of crack. And then yesterday I was actually less hungover than I was on the Thursday. So I don't know, whatever. The only cure is to go back drinking. So
there we go.
There you go.
Paper Tuesday.
Sound medical advice. Absolutely.
Yeah. Are you tired of drinking? Keep going.
Keep going.
That's
it.
Drink is the answer.
It's like,
fix your mic.
Yeah, no, it keeps touching my beard.
Oh,
so I'm worried that it's going to give feedback.
You hear what your beard's saying.
Oh yeah, that was
clever,
there we
Shane.
go.
Clever.
Yeah.
David Goggins says, "Don't stop when you're sleepy. Stop when you're done." So the same applies
when you
to
think
alcoholism.
You're 40%, and when you think you're finished, you're only actually 40% there. So keep drinking when you think you're drunk.
We need to be beside Paddy Brady, giving this sort of advice on the way into Paddy Blues. You know.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Paddy Brady, shout out Paddy. He's the bouncer of Paddy Blues. There's not a hope in hell if someone had given me €200, I wouldn't have done the job that he did on Paddy's Day night. There's just swarms of people, mothers coming over and saying, "You're going to get in trouble. You should feel ashamed of yourself for leaving young women out in the street like this." And this is
fuck off. You left your children out in the street.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that now, yeah. Well, it was gas there. Like, we were situated out in the back garden of it, in the beer garden, and I think they stopped letting people in around 7 o'clock, and it came to about 8, half 8, and a load of young lads were jumping over the emergency door at the back. Like, the door was locked, so no, people were trying to open it first to try to let people in. Obviously, they locked it because you can't be letting fucking people in the back door.
Yeah.
And then I remember going out, I was coming back in from the bar, looking out, and a young lad like that I knew was being hurtled out of the smoking area and thrown out the front door. And I went out and asked the lads, did they see what happened? And apparently 10 young lads jumped over the gate, and this lad that we knew was the last lad over, and the bouncer grabbed him and threw him out, and the other lads weren't caught. Like, they were...
No way.
Yeah.
Janie. Right.
But yeah, no, I wouldn't like to be a bouncer now on Paddy's Day.
No. Was there anything else on drink? No, I don't think so. I think we've covered all bases there. Mark, you had a very interesting topic. What made you think of this?
So I was listening to a podcast during the week, and someone said on it that, you know, the nursery rhymes, ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
Is that like
a ring a Rosie?
Rosie, yeah.
That was actually a Holocaust song sung by the children in the camps. You know, ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
Oh, Janie.
So that kind of makes it a bit morbid, and then that made me kind of think like.
I thought no, they could have like adapted it, but I thought "Ring a Ring Rosie" actually comes from Time of the Plague, like, because "Ring a Ring a tissue."
Oh, we all fall down. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Or flu or something. But so ashes. What's that about? Or,
I think because I thought people are being burned in the gas chambers.
Oh, so what is there? Is one of the lyrics in it ashes? Or?
Yeah, so, you know, ring a Rosie, a pocket full of posy, a tissue. Maybe it's ashes. Yeah, it could be.
They adapted it.
They could have adapted it, yeah. It could have been. I think in some parts of the world it might sing ashes, ashes, we all fall down. A tissue. Yeah, that makes more sense. But that kind of led me to leave then, like, what other songs kind of have meanings that I don't know about, that, like, you know, I just sing along to the lyrics and I don't really understand. I think it's just a catchy tune. So I went and done a bit of research into it. Now, they weren't really kind of like, I didn't find much in the way of, like, say, nursery rhymes and stuff. They're mostly like hit pop songs and stuff. I'll try to find the article I had here now. So 40 songs you didn't know had hitting meanings. So I'll go through these and you let me know what songs you know, and we'll do those. So there's 40 songs here. Some of them I didn't really know. Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen.
I read about this one.
The Boss.
The Boss, yes.
So, Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen. You're probably among the vast majority who thought this song was all about patriotism and US pride. Correct?
Yeah.
Though that's not exactly what the song is all about. The song is actually a major criticism of how veterans were treated after they returned from the Vietnam War. You knew this, did you?
Well, no, it was just in the course of looking up this stuff that it came up, and I was like, right.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Born in the USA. Yeah.
But apparently even the lyrics of it are kind of like almost calling out the politicians for the policy at the time. What I find interesting back is what you'll love this. Apparently Reagan in 85 used Born in the USA as like his rally arrival.
No way.
The irony of it. So like he surely knew the meaning of it, but he also knew that his crowds wouldn't know or care what the meaning of the song was, but just the born in the...
Fuck yeah, that's America, isn't it?
That's America,
That is America in a fucking nutshell.
Yeah.
It's horrible how the veterans are treated over there. I don't know if they got any... have they changed the policies of how...
So like what would you be familiar with?
Like there's massive addiction rates and like there's tent cities or tent camps all around, I know Los Angeles, all like purely veteran camps that are homeless and just drug addicts, and these people who went and, you know, massive fucking PTSD and loss of limbs, and they're just kind of left. And I think one of the camps is actually outside one of the offices where they look after veterans, but they can only take a certain amount, so the rest have set up their own camps around outside it in protest the fact that they can't get care.
It's crazy.
And these are like, you know, the American heroes that they all praised, you know, but they're just fucking like thrown out on the street. Hotel California by the Eagles.
Fame.
You know this song?
Oh, again, it came up. It's about the trap of celebrity, I think, is it?
Yeah. It's a metaphor about the greed in the music industry that eventually leads to the artist's own self-destruction. So what is it? You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. Isn't that one of the lyrics of it? So that kind of makes sense. I kind of got that feeling from it though, when you listen to it, don't you? You can check out any time you like.
There's something lurking in the background or something. Yeah. So like, just to kind of enunciate a little bit more, like, so you can check it out, but of course you can leave, but you can never leave in that, like, it's the pure lore and addiction of it, is that it?
Yeah, that's what I kind of got when listening to it. I thought it was kind of about drug addiction, you know, or alcoholism maybe.
Yeah.
I thought it was like maybe about Hotel California was kind of like a pub or something.
Yeah.
That's the way I kind of envisioned it.
But see, what I'm going to bring up as well a bit is, like, I love how not only have you the lyrical meaning there, right, but the way the song goes, like, you know, the way it comes into the chorus, it's not really a big rally. It's normally like a plucking of a few notes.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little bit slow and a bit subdued or something.
Yeah.
I find that really interesting, how we portray meaning through the sounds that we hear in songs as well.
Yeah, it's not a big, exciting song.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an eerie kind of tone throughout. Yeah. It's not glamorizing the fact. Every Breath You Take by The Police.
Stalkery, isn't it?
Yeah. Hard to believe that the epitome of emotional songs actually has a darker undertone. This song is all about stalking and possessiveness. Sting wrote this song when he suspected his wife of having an affair, so he penned the famous lyrics, "Every breath you take, every move you make, every bond you break, every step you take, I'll be watching you." This song takes on a much creepier tone when you realise it's about a scorned lover.
Oh.
Yeah, so when you listen to it, you know, you're like, every step you take, I'll be watching you.
Yeah.
I had kind of thought it might be about like parenthood or something at first.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know, that's what I kind of got from it, but it's not. Yeah, it makes sense when you think about it. Sting, a big believer in tantric sex.
Oh, right.
Do you know what tantric sex is? Yeah, it's where you have sex but you don't really move.
Well, you don't move?
I don't know if you move or not. I think you just like stay inside her and then like look, make eye contact.
Okay.
And then just hold it there. And apparently like Sting can have like 50 orgasms in a session.
Big dolly, man.
So he claims.
But you know that Becoming, or the book that I gave you about, I'd say that book now would be all about that.
Recapture the Rapture?
Recapture the Rapture would, like,
really?
Yeah, would tie in with Sting there. We're not going to stay with sex too long.
As usual.
We are finishing early. You said there, Sting. Oh yeah, another. I think this whole topic is grand, but it's a bit sad when, you know, the love songs that we take aren't actually love songs.
Yeah.
So Johnny Cash, I love his version of "You Are My Sunshine," my only sunshine. But yet, it's about someone who's heartbroken after a breakup.
Yeah, unrequited love. Yeah, it's very sad. Like Johnny Cash, like had a very hard life. A lot of his songs are very sad. Like, you know, Hurt. What else? Folsom Prison Blues. I love Folsom Prison Blues. My dad used to have a Johnny Cash CD in the car when we were younger, and the Folsom Prison Blues on it was more upbeat.
Yeah.
So I was like, this, like, I found it as like a happy song.
Oh.
But then kind of later in life, I went back and like started listening to it again, and the ones I could find on Spotify are kind of slower and a lot more somber. Like, you know, I hear the train a coming, it's rolling around the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, and when I hear that train a coming, I hang my head and cry. You know, it's like, it's a lot more, like, Johnny Cash's music is very impactful. Like, it's so much more different than listening to fucking Chandelier by Sia or something like that, you know.
Calling out Sia here and there, but that's interesting because the way your father had the CD and that experience of growing up, my father had the Johnny Cash CD as well, and Neil Diamond as well. That was one other favourite of his. But I even know, I think that version that you're talking about, Folsom Prison Views, and it's so upbeat, but I think that was a live performance, and it was in a prison.
It was in Folsom Prison.
Yeah.
Or was it San Quentin? Could have been done both. He done sang San Quentin in San Quentin.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah.
It's so good, especially when you listen to it being sang there and the crowd's reaction, you know?
Yeah. Like, that was so good. Like, did you ever watch the, like, biopic, whatever you call it, with, I was like, I Walked the Line, about like whole Johnny Cash's life. What's the man's name that was in The Joker?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix. That's such a good movie. And
So good.
And like, he does all the singing himself in it, and like, he sounds really like Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
It's really good movie.
Very good. Also, Joaquin Phoenix is very good looking. If you look at Johnny Cash, he actually wasn't, you know, as good looking as Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
But like, just San Quentin, I used to listen to that when I was in school and think about school.
Right.
Yeah, San Quentin, I hate every inch of you.
Speaking of Johnny Cash, he wrote a song that I kind of always think of at Paddy's Day. It's called 40 Shades of Green. Have you ever heard of it?
Dustin the Turkey, Michael.
Did he sing that?
32 counties and 40 shades of green. You never heard that, no?
No.
We probably can't play it because of copyright, I'd say.
Oh, right.
Look that up. Yeah.
But like, it goes, it's a gas song because all the lyrics are like, and he dreams of and most of all I think of a girl from Tipperary town, and most of all I mix her lips as soft as eider down. I want to see and do the things we've done and seen, where the breeze is sweet as Shalimar, and there's 40 shades of green. And he mentions like Dingle, and he mentions Down, and he mentions like all Irish places. Like, Skibbereen is in it. Like,
he must have been to Ireland then, was he?
He did, yeah. He was doing. He wrote the song just looking at one of those maps, a road map of Ireland when he was on tour here. He just and apparently Shalimar is like a name of a perfume, like, so he just made it up, like, because he liked the smell of Shalimar, like, you know, or the breeze is sweeter. But he actually has there's on Spotify, there's actually an album of his tour in Ireland, and it's great because the first song is, you know, that song he goes, Daddy played bass, Mama sang treble, little boy, da, da, da. You know that song?
Your baby's gonna sing that.
I'd love that. I love that so much. Do you know what? Actually, I realised that when we get married, your child will be 1.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, me and Breda have spoke about this because we're going to have to bring a 1-year-old to the wedding. But it's getting collected. It's not coming to the after party. No fucking way.
No.
Are you going to have the wedding? We can cut this out of the podcast if you want. Are you going to have the wedding in where the reception is, or in...
no, the mass is in Glencullen.
Glencullen is near...
It's Johnny Fox, beside Johnny Fox's.
Very good.
And it's an hour from the hotel.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's grand.
You can't really go any more than an hour, I think, when it comes to weddings and hotels.
Yeah, it's a long drive.
Yeah.
No, but it's grand though, isn't it? Like, it's very nice. It's not like, you know, just you get to go somewhere after a wedding.
Yeah.
Do you know?
But yeah, like I know we discussed before, but like, we want it to be a shindig. Like, one of the key priorities was that the bar was like, there's a residence bar till 4:00. Yes. And like, that's a priority for me.
Yes.
Says the pioneer.
Drink. Yeah. Let's see what other songs we have.
Songs, yes.
Yeah. We have... No, I don't. Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind. Do you know that song? Do you know the song?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah, so, but this song is very upbeat, but it's super edited for radio. The song is all about a couple tripping together. You just never know because the radio edit took all out the illicit substance references. All you have to do is look at the original lyrics to see the true meaning. So it actually is about crystal meth and a couple of crystal meth together.
Right.
Another one, Wake Me Up When September Ends by Green Day.
Oh, right.
So I've been listening to this song a good bit lately. It's been coming up on my Spotify. But the music video had a lot of people speculating that this song was about a war, but in reality the meaning is much sadder. The song was written in memory of lead singer Billy Joe Armstrong's father, who died in 1982 when Armstrong was just 10 years old.
Right.
So, like my father's come to pass, 7 years has gone so fast.
Oh,
Or
and
20 years.
the anniversary is September. Or...
Yeah. So Wake Me Up when September ends.
Yeah.
Remember that song? The same. It was like Third Eye Jumper. You say that was
Third Eye Blind.
Yeah, Third Eye Blind. Wasn't that the?
Jumper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a song about committing suicide or someone stepping off a ledge.
Yeah.
It's a really dark song, but like, wasn't there a movie where Jim Carrey sings it to get someone down off a ledge?
Yeah. I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was about someone actually committing suicide. I keep taking fucking screenshots on my phone. Like a Virgin by Madonna.
All right.
Song isn't actually, that's a Niall Hemp favourite on karaoke.
Oh, all right.
Nope, this song isn't actually about losing your virginity. It's actually about how the writer Billy Steinberg was left emotionally battered after a failed relationship, and then a new relationship renewed him.
Oh.
So he felt like a virgin.
Oh. That's beautiful now.
Yeah. Here's a big one. I don't know, you might have heard of this one before, but I have Hey Ya by Outkast. You know that song, Hey Ya.
Yeah.
So that song, so it says here, surprised the early 2000s hit is actually kind of depressing when you pay attention to the lyrics. The catchy tune is all about a romance crumbling into tiny pieces.
Oh.
So it's actually really sad if you listen to the lyrics.
Really?
Yeah. What's it? It's like, are you able to get lyrics of Hey Ya up there?
Yeah.
It's all about, I don't know, it's about like, there's kids involved, isn't it?
I'm not too sure. I haven't actually looked into it.
But it's like one of the most upbeat songs there is, isn't it? And like if you look at the music video, they're all like dancing and in their suits and all.
Yeah. While Shane is looking for that, there was one, since we're kind of dark meanings, Little Talks, Monsters and Men, you know that one?
Yeah.
You know the conversation like between the men and the female, that's actually a widow talking to her recently dead husband, and it's the house telling you to close your eyes, and that's the dead husband telling her to join him in death. And
Jesus, yeah. Tell her that I miss her little talks. Yeah, fuck. That's deep, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's heavy.
It is indeed.
Shit.
And in other news, the summer of 69 does not relate to the year 1969.
Yes, I heard about this one, but I don't really get it. It's about sex somehow, but the lyrics don't really match up. It's like, that was the summer of 60. Yeah, he had a lot of 69s that summer. Or he had maybe his first one.
Maybe he did, yeah.
Shout out to Bryan Adams.
Shout out, Brian. He was only 9 in 1969, so I don't know how everyone just thought, it's just back, leave the 70s and all that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Like it shows the lyrics there, and if you actually read it, like without the upbeat music, it does sound very sad about like how relationships don't last and everything like that.
You think you've got it, you think you've got it, but got it just don't get it when there's nothing at all. We get together, we get together, but separate's always better when there's feelings involved. Know what they say, it's nothing lasts forever. Yeah, so it's actually like about a breakup. Yeah. It's kind of sad.
Same there with, Mike Poser's song, I Took a Pill in Ibiza. And it was one of the biggest songs of the summer a couple years ago, and it's all about how lonely he was being a celebrity, and like it's like you step off that roller coaster and be all alone. It's like how lonely he feels being so famous. And then like I seen another, I was reading through there, and I was saying that how he like couldn't sustain his long-term relationships or something because of his fame, and how lonely he felt because of it. So
Mike Posner's songs are very deep. There was
really
another one, wasn't there, about getting sober?
Yeah,
I can't remember the name, but it's very good. And On Drugs there as well, Can't Feel My Face by The Weeknd. It sounds like, I can't feel my face when I'm with you. It's a love song. It's actually about his a personification of his addiction to illicit substances.
Speaking of drugs, sorry Mark, there's one here, A-Team Ed Sheeran. White lips, pale face, breathing in the snowflakes, burnt lungs, sour taste, all cocaine related there.
Yeah, smoking crack.
Yeah.
Even the music video of that's so dark. It's like about prostitute and stuff. I remember seeing on TikTok like everyone like me when I was 10 or 13 singing like all the lyrics to this, and now me listening to it now, it's like, geez, I should not have been singing all these lyrics.
Yeah. Chandelier by Sia has come up. Phone's blowing up, ringing my doorbell. I feel love, feel the love, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. It's easy for someone to think of this as yet another party song. However, it's actually about Sia's former illicit substance and alcohol addictions. Thankfully, she's been sober for several years now. Good for her.
Good for her, absolutely. That's a good news story. You were saying about songs when you were younger, and then like retelling it. Do you think today's generation will have the same experience when they go back and look at Billie Eilish's lyrics?
Yes. Billie Eilish is kind of like some vampire sex witch. And
why is she so popular? Now, like, I don't mind her song, but at the same time, I'm like, this is so dark.
Yeah, it's just like mental illness, isn't it? But like proper mental illness.
Yeah. I'm a bad guy. I don't know, it's just, yeah, it's very, very odd.
Yeah, I'd say there will be the same thing there. People in a few years' time on TikTok is like, now I understand what the lyrics mean.
Yeah.
But, like that you were saying there when you're younger and everything. What's that song by Madonna? And it's like basically performing a sexual act. Is it like a prayer or something like that?
Like a prayer. Life is a mystery. Remember that was our song?
It is like I'm gonna take you there. It's about,
I wanna take you.
I don't know if that's the meaning behind it. It's about performing this sexual act. But I remember in the school choir, on the TY choir or something, the teacher got the choir to sing that. And
oh my god!
Like, this is definitely like. By the sounds of it, it is about performing a sexual act.
Song's about blowjobs. Yeah. I'm down on my knees. I wanna take you there. In the midnight hour, I can feel your power. I'm down on my knees. I wanna take you there.
So teacher got all the TYs to sing that.
Because I became so fascinated with that song, like in the early days of Mark Alpin Fitness, it was my most played in 2021 or something.
Jesus.
And I was looking it up on Wikipedia and all, and like some people say, oh, Madonna's full with bad stuff or whatever. And then others are like, she's bringing us to this whole new place. Like there's like this book in the Bible called the Song of Songs, and it's like, come my lovely, come. And it's, you know, it's really, really, it paints lovers like as two stags in like two deer, and like there's a lot of romantic, intense imagery. I was trying to say that Madonna is emulating this sort of style.
Yeah. Maybe sex is a good thing.
Whoa! Whoa! Pull it back there, Mark!
I'm going to be
this is coming from the Bible now.
So there you go.
Imagine by John Lennon is about communism.
Ah.
Yeah, so the song is basically a communist manifesto, admitted John Lennon himself. So some of the lyrics are, because some communism is sugar-coated, it's accepted. Now I understand what you have to do. Put your message across with a little honey. Don McLean, American Pie.
What's wrong with that?
So no one really knows what the song was about until McLean revealed the true meaning, the end of an era. A plane crash in 1959 killed rock star Buddy Holly, driving McLean into believing that was the day the music died.
Oh.
That's a great song, isn't it?
It is.
American Pie.
That's another song that was on mixed CDs in the car.
Yes, yeah. That was one I wanted to do kind of for the live show, and we were thinking of like a closing song, but it's a bit slow. You know?
It is, and a little bit long, but it is such a hallmark of a tune, yeah. There's something, I love how like these songs, they can have such rich meaning and then they might not have any meaning. Like Sweet Caroline is such a belter.
Yeah.
And yet it is about Neil Diamond just seeing Caroline Kennedy, the daughter of JFK, on a pony, and he just goes, oh, Sweet Caroline. And that was it then.
Really?
He wrote the song like that.
No way.
Like, just a little simple thing has started
one of the biggest songs ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In controversial news, Baby It's Cold Outside, Mark. You know the way there was a lot of throwback about this, like, or pushback lately, that this is what men domineering to women.
Yeah.
Apparently at the time, it was the very opposite.
Oh.
So this is, it actually has consensual overtones because, there's a line there, she says, I ought to say, no, sir. At least I'm going to say that I tried. So in that light, then we can see how they were sharing a banter, and it was almost that, like, at that time the woman had to appear to have said no, or that, no, I can't stay.
Yeah.
So
I was actually listening to a Bill Burr, the comedian Bill Burr,
right.
a bit he done about not this song, but like about that topic. I was watching it last night, and he was kind of saying like, no means no, and he goes, no, it doesn't. It's like, no, that means no, but it's like, no, stop, like, you're so bad. And he's like, See, when you hear it like that, that's like she wants to pretend that she has this level of self-respect. Meanwhile, she's performed this act with 40 other men. Like, but then he's like, but when you read that transcript back in a chord, it's like, no, stop, you're so bad. You read that out in just the text. It's way worse than it actually was. But yeah, that's the thing. No does mean no, but then, like, you know, that's the kind of the blurred lines. That's the blurred lines. Another song that has got in trouble here. It's on the list. So that talks about the blurred lines of consent, which is another.
And didn't he get in trouble?
He got in trouble for that with Miley Cyrus, wasn't it? Or maybe it was other women as well. But apparently,
I think man Robin Thicke has been cancelled. I think he was
cancelled.
RHJ, grab a hand.
So the Baby It's Cold Outside lyrics. I really can't stay, baby, it's cold outside. I gotta go away, baby, it's cold outside. This evening has been hoping you've been dropped in, so very nice. I'll hold your hands just like they're ice. My mother will start to worry, beautiful, what's your hurry? My father will be pacing the floor, listen to the fireplace roar. So I'd really better scurry, beautiful, please don't hurry. Well, maybe just half a drink more. I'll put some records on while I pour. Yeah.
When you listen to, I don't know, the original version of that though, there's nothing but banter shared between them. Like, and I think maybe that's just between the male and the female singers or whatever. But like, they're very good at answering each other.
Yeah.
Like you could see, yeah. But look, I'm not saying this is not a campaign to say that we need to listen to Baby It's Cold Outside.
Just so we don't get cancelled. No does mean no.
Oh yeah, we should
all
go
that
there.
Is bad. If someone says no to you, stop. They mean it. We don't condone sexual assault on Paper Tuesdays at all.
No.
Now on with our usual programming.
Thanks for that, man.
Thanks. So Gangnam Style by Psy.
Yeah.
If you owned a radio back in 2012, then you heard this song, The Origin of the Rise of K-pop, Korean pop, genre in America, Gangnam Style. It's a fun song with a dance craze that swept the world. Though it's not as jovial as it seems, Gangnam is a rich area in South Korea filled with the uber rich of the country. This song is all about people clamoring over each other to get there, and it addresses the insanely high debt rate, DEBT rate of the country's citizens.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's all about the rat race.
Yeah.
South Korea apparently, like, they work themselves to death over there.
Do they? Yeah.
They work really fucking hard. Like, it's not like, but I think they do it optionally as opposed to their neighbours.
Okay, yeah. I understand. Love Song by Sarah Bareilles. You know that song? This is not a love song.
This is Goodbye.
Or no, sorry. I'm gonna write you a love song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so apparently it's not about a lover, but it's meant to be more about like her style of a song. So Sony had got her to do these collaborations and just wasn't working. Yeah. And she said it was like her fighting for the essence of truth inside her.
Yeah, I'm not going to write you a love song because you asked for it because you need one. Yeah, that's good.
It's amazing, isn't
it? It's very interesting.
There's the broad spectrum of music, like it's mad. There's another few here.
Like we just hear an upbeat tune with the word love in it and we're like, Foundations. Have you ever heard that song?
No.
My fingertips are holding on to the cracks in our foundations. Wait till hear the lyrics of this one. This is another upbeat song. Foundations, lyrics. Kate Nash. Thursday night, everything's fine except you've got that look in your eye, but when I'm telling a story, you're finding it boring, you're thinking of something to say, you'll go along with it, then drop it and humiliate me in front of our friends. Then I'll use that voice that you find annoying and say something like, yeah, intelligent input, darling, why don't you just have another beer then? Then you'll call me a bitch and everyone we're with will be embarrassed and I won't give a shit. My fingertips are holding on to the cracks in our foundation and I know that I should let go, but I can't. And every time we fight, I know it's not right. Every time that you're upset and I smile, I know I should forget, but I can't. You said I eat so many lemons because I am so bitter. I said I'd rather be with your friends, mate, because they are much fitter. This is all behind a really catchy, upbeat song.
Oh, right, okay.
But it's all about, like a toxic relationship.
Janie Mac, right.
What's that London song as well? Have you ever heard that? Walking round London, sun is in the sky, oh why would I want to be anywhere else? That's all about
surely
how shit London is.
Oh, right.
Isn't it?
I'm not too sure now. I just remember it wasn't the royal family, like they're going on a car journey and like that song just keeps repeating and like Jim Royal and all them were just singing along to it and like bopping around to it.
LDN, 1 second now.
Poker Face apparently is about bisexuality.
Yeah, go on.
That's all I really took on that. Just poker face hyphen bisexuality.
Yeah, she was like, what was it? She's got me like nobody, isn't it? It's like she's with a man, but she's fantasizing about women.
Oh, right.
The song London by Lily Allen. Riding through the city on my bike all day because the Phil took away my license. It won't get me down because I feel okay because the sights that I'm seeing are priceless. Everything seems to look as it should, but I wonder what goes on behind doors. A fella looking dapper and he's sitting with a slapper. Then I see a pimp and his crack whore. You might laugh, you might frown, walking around London town. Sun is in the sky, oh, I would I want to be anywhere else.
Oh, that's very well done, isn't it?
Yeah. What else we have? Blurred Lines then by Robin Thicke. Yeah, it was actually about the blurred lines of consent, which is honestly kind of disturbing and creepy. Also, his whole performance of the song at 2013 MTV Music Awards with Miley Cyrus was super gross and uncomfortable. Yeah, not so great.
Okay.
Baby's Colour Side is there too. One Way or Another by Blondie. You know, One Way or Another. This catchy song, which has been included on Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Hits of All Time, isn't as fun as it sounds on first listen. Debbie Harry, the Blondie frontwoman, wrote this song from the perspective of her ex-boyfriend who stalked her.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
Delilah by Tom Jones. My, Delilah. Considered a Tom Jones classic, but if you listen to the lyrics and you discover it's much darker than it seems. It's all about a man going crazy and murdering his lover who cheated on him. Oh. Ironic, seeing as he famously cheated on his wife with 250 women.
Oh, 250.
250.
Wow. Jenny, man.
Sex bomb.
Blackbird. You know Beatles, that lovely little tune.
No.
Blackbird singing in the sky. And fly, learn to fly all the way. You know, that's, anyway, you don't know it. No. But anyway, that's a very simple song, but I thought it was just about a blackbird. But no, Beatles wrote that about a young African American and her broken wings learning to fly. So,
can we finish this podcast with the Bluebird poem by Bukowski?
Oh,
I think I'd like to share that. That's a nice poem.
Yeah.
Are we finishing now? In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. You know, it's not actually about a man who could have saved another man from drowning. It's about him divorcing his wife.
Oh. Something in the air tonight?
Sorry? Yeah, in the air tonight. I can feel it calling in the air tonight. Apparently the song is all about the grief he felt after divorcing his first wife. So it's a bit less dark than the original one. You know, not saving another man from drowning.
Right, I didn't know the drowning one either.
Did you not? Well, you know the lyrics of In the Air Tonight? You said something about...
I think there is, I've heard that before.
Is he painting himself as the man that's drowning in that? Or
yeah.
Is that why then? Or, I don't fully get that.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe like he's drowning and he couldn't say, maybe the marriage is the person drowning. Zombie by the Cranberries obviously was about a protest song written about a bombing in March 1993.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of all the songs I have here that I know. Hello by Lionel Richie. Is apparently that the lyrics in it are okay, but the music video is about a teacher who falls in love with one of his blind students.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler.
Ah, classic, right. Yeah. What's wrong with
Total this? Eclipse of the Heart. What's wrong with this? Apparently it's about vampires falling in love.
All right. We can live with that.
Chocolate by the 1975. Great song. You know that. We go, nobody knows, we're gone sitting under our petticoats. You know,
oh, yes.
Said you're never going to quit it if you don't stop smoking it. It's actually about doing heroin.
Okay.
I Shot the Sheriff by Bob Marley. This one's interesting.
Right.
It's not about shooting a sheriff. It's about his wife's doctor who prescribed her birth control.
Oh, okay.
And apparently he was the sheriff. There's one of the lyrics in it is about he keeps planting the seed, but the sheriff keeps tearing it up or pulling it out. So that was the birth control aspect of it. Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen is about Freddie Mercury leaving his girlfriend for a man.
Can I blow my trumpet for one moment?
Yeah, go on.
Ashton's brother Will describes me as a white Bob Marley.
A white Bob Marley?
Yeah.
I see it. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, but I like it. I like being a white Bob Marley.
Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People. All the other kids with the pumped up kicks, better run. It's about school shooting.
Oh, better run. Yeah.
Also, I Don't Like Mondays.
Yeah.
Town Rats is about a school shooting.
Do you find that a little weird? Like, great song and all, but like, I suppose you can write a song about it. And I'd be almost there like saying, why do you have to write a song about that? Like, it's a murderer's alibi.
Yes.
And he's saying he doesn't like Mondays. Oh, that's grand. And then we'll make it into a real upbeat song. And
yeah, it is. It's a bit weird, but I suppose he kind of wanted to shed light on just how strange her excuse was, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't like Mondays.
Yeah.
Gonna shoot the whole day down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the whole... Yeah. I suppose it's just a human...
Someone from Gorey was in that college when that shooting happened.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was someone from Greensbury Farm, like a daughter or
Shiny,
something.
Mac.
Bob Geldof's cousin sells our father carpets.
Oh my gosh.
He owns Geldof Carpets.
Get off carpets. The name. Clues in the name.
Yeah. Will we finish this podcast out with Bluebird?
Yeah.
No, go on.
No. I'm all for that, but I want to. When you're speaking of poems, and when you think of someone like Geldof, it made me think of Bono there, and he wrote a poem there for, he wrote a poem for Patrick's Day and Nancy Pelosi, who. You don't like her? Why?
I don't know.
You don't know her? She's the Speaker of the Congress, and someone put up on Twitter just to show how old, or how maybe old wasn't the word you. Sorry, now.
Out of touch.
Probably how she has been at centre. There's a picture of her with John F. Kennedy at his inauguration.
Right.
Like, that's how far, you think that's so far long ago.
Yeah.
But she's been there since the start, like, you know. So I don't know how she survived that long. That is remarkable.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she read this poem that Bono wrote. This is what happens when America has Patrick's Day. It's just carnage, you know.
Ireland.
It's just everything happens.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is the poem Bono wrote. Oh, St. Patrick, he drove out the snakes with his prayers, but that's not all it takes. For the snake symbolizes an evil that rises and hides in your heart as it breaks. And the evil has risen, my friends, from the darkness that lives in some men. But in sorrow and fear, that's when saints can appear to drive out those old snakes once again. And they struggle for us to be free from the psycho in this human family. Ireland's sorrow and pain is now the Ukraine, and St. Patrick's name now Zelensky. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It's a challenge for us all, I think.
Yeah.
But I really like how, you know, he's almost put words on. He really puts flesh on the idea of the snakes being the idea of evil, and you know.
He was able to tie in that kind of whole philosophy well into the current
Zeitgeist. Oh, Mark helping. Mark the Zeitgeist helping.
Speaking of St. Patrick's Day, I'm sure some of our listeners might be a little worse for wear after their long weekend of drinking or whatever, and they might need something, you know, to kind of get them through the next few days and back into normal life. And this is a little poem that I think might help someone get over a hangover or a bit of a come down.
Yeah.
So this is Bluebird by Charles Bukowski. Charles Bukowski, a famous alcoholic, addict, poet.
I didn't know he was an alcoholic. Just knew he was a poet. Right.
Very much so. A very heavy drinker. Drank almost every day, constantly drunk. So Charles Bukowski wrote this poem. It's called Bluebird. There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too tough for him. I say, stay in there. I'm not going to let anybody see you. There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I pour whiskey on him and inhale cigarette smoke. And the whores and the bartenders and the grocery clerks never know that he's in there. There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too tough for him. I say, stay down there. Do you want to mess me up? Do you want to screw up the works? Do you want to blow my book sales in Europe? There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out, but I'm too clever. I only let him out at night sometimes, when everybody's asleep. I say, I know that you're there, so don't be sad. Then I put him back, but he's singing a little in there. I haven't quite let him die. And we sleep together like that, with our secret pact, and it's nice enough to know, and it's nice enough to make a man weep, but I don't weep, do you? Very nice.
Yeah. To think that we all have a bluebird in our heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's great to hear that, you know, from this man who is just a prolific alcoholic and famous, that he knows that he's damaging himself with the alcohol, and that there is something in there that is his true self, and that he still recognizes that it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true. That is very true, Mark. I can't help but go on to Twitter here, Mark. Oh, it's very tight, very tight. 2 points between the sides. Carlow lead Wexford 1-7 to 1-5, and we have played 13 minutes. 30 minutes played, or
Hardly.
no? That's probably second half. Yeah, but there has been an update in a little while. Now there's just been an update. Carlo are leading now by 3 points. There's a minute left. This could be heartbreaking for our James Flood.
Come on,
Wexford.
Last minute goal. That's our correspondent James Flood, and his minor football team are currently out against Carlo today.
Yeah. Do you know? Right, I'm going to finish it. I know the poem was to finish, Mark, but 2 closing thoughts. One, young people today, Mark, apparently, I've heard it there on the grapevine, they are even better than us when it comes to dealing with mental health and other people's and sexuality. I've heard of an example there lately of a young lad coming out, and the sheer acceptance, warmth, and understanding of his friends. And I don't know if we would have been as courageous or as accepting or understanding back when we were in secondary school.
No.
I don't have really many examples, but I suppose it's just acceptance. So that's just an observation. Yeah. And then the second one was, so we're now in our mid-20s. This is a strange place for some where we find ourselves. Well, not for you, as you face fatherhood in the next few weeks, but in our mid-20s, I love how we see progression, like you becoming a father, me becoming a fiance, James Flood, like obviously flourishing with Katie and Otto, is it? Ollie, excuse me, Ollie. Ollie, the dog. But James Flood is having a fantastic year when it comes to that Wexford minor football team, and now a trainer of Newtown Mount Kennedy.
Yeah.
Like, if you had told me 5 years ago that James would end up in that position, I'd be saying, hardly. You know, is that not something that comes later in life? Yeah. But he's made it happen. Yeah. And I just think that these milestones that we take for life probably are just part and parcel of the rolling wave of life. But they're really important. Yeah. They're really special as well to see them, to give witness to them. And I think the Patrick's Day Parade is also one of them that, like, I took that for granted. I just thought this is just another bit of a gimmick, but it was great to be part of the excitement and the whole the wave of excitement. And it was a great parade as well, Mark, in that, like, when you do see the street full of all these floats, it feels like you're a little bit in a bigger thing or something.
Yeah, you step outside of normality for a while.
Yeah,
definitely. It was nice, and it was great to see that kind of experience again, because we didn't really have a Christmas this year. It's our first big event culturally, I suppose, where people can celebrate together in 2 or 3 years. Yeah. And it was great to be able to play a part in that.
Yeah, absolutely. So 22nd of April, Gory Little Theatre, we'd really love to see you there. And Mark, it's always a blessing to do this with you.
Always a blessington. Get your tickets, lads.
Oh, can I request? Yeah. Hey Google, play Foster and Allen, Hello Mary Lou.
Okay. Hello Mary Lou.
This is Mary Lou McConnell.
I don't know, I heard it last night and I thought, Mark needs to hear this. Turn it up, Google.
You have to say, hey Google. Hey Google, turn it up, please.
Goodbye, heart. Sweet Mary Lou,
we have a Patreon page. You could join us there.
Mark, it's like Southeast Radio, isn't it, on a Saturday morning?
Yeah. Goodbye, heart.
See you next week.